Hey everyone, I wanted to check in with you. I hope you're having a good weekend and you were able to relax a little bit. I can't emphasize enough how important it is for you to get some exercise, for you to get outside and get some sun. I know it's a little chilly today, but please do your best to take a walk every day or ride your bike or skateboard or whatever it is that can get you outside and moving and in the sun a little bit every day. So I miss you guys and, send me an email, say hello. Um, and hopefully, we're just working through this together. Okay, so the reason for sending you the video today is also because I checked in on your assignments, and no, they're not due until class time tomorrow. But some of you who have started them, and many of you have, which is really good. I've noticed some mistakes, and I wanted to give you the opportunity to evaluate what you were doing, and fix those mistakes or potentially not make them before you actually do the work. So let's take a look at another example together, and I will point out the common mistakes that I am seeing in your work as we do this example together. Okay, so we have gaseous dinitrogen tetrahydride reacts with oxygen to produce gaseous nitrogen and water. All right. So gaseous dinitrogen tetrahydride, that's a mouthful. Dinitrogen tetrahydride, we've got a lot of um, prefixes there. So that's telling me right off the bat, this is definitely going to be a molecular compound. Those are the easy ones, remember, because all I do is translate the prefix into a number, right? So dinitrogen N2, tetrahydride H4. So hydride, notice there's no ox in there, right? There's no oxygen. It's just hydride, so it's just hydrogen. And you're being told that it's gaseous, right? So here's the first spot that I'm seeing a mistake. You need to put the little symbol for the state of matter next to the substance, not above it or under it or anyplace else, right? It should read like a sentence from left to right. So there's no, please don't put them below or above each of the substances. If you were typing it, it would be a subscript, just like the numbers, right? Just like the subscripts in the formulas. The state of matter would also be a subscript, okay? That's another thing as well. The subscripts, if you're writing, it's obviously very simple to make subscripts like I am. If you have chosen to type, I get the picture when you're writing subscripts, but it can be difficult sometimes to interpret them. So you really have to make sure that you really are making subscripts when you're typing. And to make the subscript easily on your computer, all you have to do is hit Control and the plus sign. All right, so Control and the plus sign, and that will put you in subscript mode. And so then whatever you type is a subscript, and then you just do it again, and it toggles you out of subscript mode. Okay, so a quick keyboard shortcut to get in and out of subscript formatting as you are writing your equations, okay? Or again, just write them by hand, okay? You can always go back and make things subscripts too, but that's kind of annoying to me, but that's up to you. All right, so those are the first two things, subscripts and states of matter and where they belong. Okay, and this says that it reacts with, so I know that that's a plus, oxygen. So here's where I'm seeing another mistake right off the bat. We have our, and I am saying the sentence in my head as I write this out, right? These are our diatomic molecules. Remember that saying, we have no fear of ice cold beer, right? So these elements, whenever you write them by themselves, they are always written as diatomic, two atoms, diatomic molecules, right? Diatomic. So I'm seeing that in the very first one on your worksheet because there's oxygen there. So oxygen must be written as O2, right? And again, usually it's a gas unless we know otherwise. And it produces, which means I have an arrow, okay? Here comes mistake number 3. I do not have an equal sign. This is not math class. I know it's an equation, but it's not math class, right? So we don't use an equal sign in chemical reactions. We use an arrow, for a couple of reasons, one of which is that most of these chemical reactions can only go in one direction. So putting an equal sign gives us the impression that you can go from one side to the other, when in reality, this reaction can only go in one direction. So the arrow shows us that direction. Okay, and it produces gaseous nitrogen. So nitrogen is another one of my diatomic molecules. So N2, gas, right? And water. And again, I know you're all familiar with the formula for water. And since no state of matter is given here, you can go ahead and assume that it's a liquid. Okay. If it's some kind of combustion, if it says burns or something like that, then you can probably change that water to a gas. It's probably going to vaporize. But I certainly wouldn't mark you wrong if you had liquid water there as your product of a combustion. That would be fine. Okay, so do remember again the states of matter, the solid or precipitate, right, would both be given as a solid. Right? Liquid is liquid, gas is gas, and a solution or dissolved in water, right, has the aqueous, right? An aqueous solution or something that says it's dissolved in water is going to have the aqueous. So those are the two you just have to watch out for, and the other two are standard. Liquid is L, and gas is G, right? So if it's a solid or a precipitate, it should have an S. If it says it's a solution or it says it's dissolved in water, that's the AQ. Okay, so those are the mistakes that I was seeing you guys make. Again, they were not putting the diatomic molecules when it has to be diatomic, drawing an equal sign instead of an arrow. It has to be an arrow, making sure that you have the states of matter and that they are located next to the formulas and not above them or below them, and working on those subscripts, right? Making sure they are truly subscripts and not just regular size numbers. Okay. So please finish out this worksheet. There's 15 problems on the assignment that you have to do. Finish them out, practice writing your formulas, get to remembering your diatomic molecules, and we'll be moving on to now balancing these equations. Okay, guys, have a great day, and let me know if you have any questions or problems. And I'll check with you again soon.